Hello everyone, my name is Natalie Ho. Thank you very much for clicking in this video and practicing yoga with me today once again. Today I have prepared a quick tutorial for us to get to one of the dream pose of many people, which is our full wheel pose. In this video, I'm going to highlight some tips to safely getting in and out of this back bending inversion. And I would highly recommend you to warm up your body before you get into this posture. In case your body is not warmed up yet, I would recommend you to do 5 to 6 rounds of sun salutation A or B. In case you need the tutorial for this sun salutation, I will put a link on the description below. Once you're completed with your warm-up, I would like you to prepare several props here before getting into our practice today. So 2 blocks, and I'd like you to have 1 towel. The towel length that it should be a little bit wider than your shoulder, a yoga mat, and a wall. And moving on, I would like to introduce you several posture and flow to help us open up the body part that we need in order to get into our full wheel pose. So begin with our first posture, which help us to open up our shoulder. We will need our towel or t-shirt that we have prepared. Grab it to the both sides, a little bit wider than our shoulder distance. Put it over our head and pull it backward. Go back to the front and back totally for 20 times. You might have a different pace than mine, so please count by yourself for 20 times. Keep going, and remember to relax your shoulder. Keep it away from your ears. Great, and now that we are going to release and put our towel or t-shirt aside, moving forward to our next posture, go to our tabletop position first and have our hands walk a big step forward and placing our forehead as well as our chest to the ground. Make sure that our hips and our knees is on the same line. We call this as puppy pose to open our shoulder even more. We stay here for 2 more breaths. Inhale, coming back up, and have our elbow closer together and palms together. Place it behind our head. Press our shoulder further to the ground. You can feel a great stretch on our shoulder as well as our tricep. Great, and release your hand and have our chest up, coming back up, and we move to another posture to open up our hip flexor. So let's go to our low lunge with our left leg forward, right leg at the back. You can either tuck your 5 toes at the back or leave the back of your feet on the ground. Make sure that your hip is facing towards the front of the mat. And every exhale, try to sit your hips lower to the ground. On your next inhale, rise up your right arms and have your right heels to the body. Keep sitting your hip low and facing to the right side. Keep breathing. On your next inhale, release, and we go to our plank pose with both feet at the back and switch to our right legs in front. Square your hips to the front of the mat once again and sit your hips low. Every exhale, sit your hips a little bit lower to the ground and rise up your left hands, left heels to the body, looking to the left side. pressing your heels to the body while sitting your hips lower every exhale. Wonderful. Release. And now we go to our next set of posture, which targeting our spine. So I would like you to lie with your belly to the ground, untuck your toes, engage your glutes, forehead to the ground. Open your palms a little bit wider than shoulder, tending 10 of your finger. On your inhale, rise up with your strength of the upper body. And exhale, lower down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up, go a little bit further, and exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Keep going. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale. Exhale. Last 2 times. Inhale up and exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Wonderful. Keep your forehead on the ground. Interlace your finger behind your back. Roll your shoulder back and away from your ear. On your next inhale, have your fists pointing to the back of the mats and lift your chest up. Look up. Exhale down, forehead back to the ground. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Look to the front. And last time, go down. This time will be slightly different. Inhale up. Release your hands and bending both of your knees, intended to grab on your ankles. And exhale down. On your next inhale, bending both of our knees, make sure that our knees is together, tucking your toes and using your hands to grab on the ankle. Leave your leg up, chest up, only your abdominal on the ground. Look to the front and we stay here. Bow pose. On your next inhale, slowly release your hands from the ankle, feet back to the ground, chest to the ground. Perfect. Now that press your upper body up and go to a kneeling position ready for our camel pose. Now lift your hips from your ankle and place your palms on top of your hips. Press your pelvis to the front and look back, shoulder away from your ears. Using your hands to grab on your ankle once again. Once you have the grip, press your pelvic to the front. Open your chest. Inhale, slowly come up by placing your palms behind your hips, and your head should be the end to look to the front. And now we're heading to our bridge pose. You can use a block to support as well. So you can now lay flat on the ground, placing the heels towards the hips. Make sure that our toes pointing towards the front of the mat and your knees should be pointing directly to the sky. Roll your shoulder behind your back, interlace your finger while leaving your hips up, or either placing a block underneath your tailbones for a support bridge pose. Keep your chin away from your chest. We'll stay here for a while. Keep breathing in this posture. On your next inhale, you're going to place your hip back down to the ground. And inhale, leave it up once again, interlacing your finger and leave it a little bit further up towards the sky. Exhale, Release your hands and lower your hips. Inhale up, interlace the finger, and away from the ground with your hips. Exhale, release your hands and hips back to the ground. And now we are going to do something different. Place your palms on the ground next to your ears and pointing your fingers to your shoulder. Make sure that you have your elbow pointing up to the sky. And on your inhale, same as before, lift your hips up, pressing your palms to the ground while having your elbows still close to each other. We do not need to lift our upper body, but just feel the energy between your palms and the ground. And one more time, lift your hips up, and this time try to lift up a little bit higher. And exhale, lower down. Try one last time. Inhale, lift your hips up and pressing your palms to the ground. This time maybe your upper body lift up from the ground. Remember, our elbow is still close to each other. Exhale, lower down. Moving forward, we are going to do a full wheel with the help of the blocks. So now that please have your yoga mat close to the wall. And get 2 of the blocks that you have prepared before. The narrowest side of the block should be one on the wall and another one on the ground. To make sure that it is stable, pressing your palms on the lower side of the block, not the middle or the top, but the lower side. And it should be around shoulder wide distance. And now lay your back on the ground, head between the blocks. Remember to keep a distance between your shoulder and the blocks. And now placing your hands. Your palms should be on top of the blocks, but your fingers should be grabbing the end of the blocks. Make sure that your elbows are together, your heels to your hips, pointing your knees towards the sky. Inhale, lift your hip up, and now pressing to the block, crown of the head on the ground, and lengthen your arms. Go to the full wheel with the support of our blocks. We stay here but keep breathing. Make sure that we are opening our chest and press our pelvis to the sky. We slowly come down by tucking your chin first and head to the ground, upper body, hips and heels on the ground. We do it another time, heels to your hips, pointing your elbow and your knees up to the sky. Inhale, lift your hips up, crown of the head on the ground. Lengthen your arms, gaze to the blocks. And we exhale, tuck your chin, bending your arms and leg. Head to the ground, upper body to the ground, hips on the ground, and heels on the ground at the end. One last time with the help of the blocks. So check in with yourself once again. Inhale, lift your hips up, pressing to the blocks, crown of the head on the ground, and come up to our full wheel. When I said crown of the head on the ground, it's just a reminder for us to have our head backward and looking to our blocks. It is just a transition, so we don't need to rely on our neck muscle to support our upper body. Keep your focus, make sure that pelvis to the sky and open your chest. Exhale, slowly low down by tucking your chins, head to the ground first, upper body, hips and your heels down to the ground. Great, so if that you have already built up your confidence by doing the full wheel with the blocks, so now that we try to remove our blocks and do it on the ground. Lie down to the ground once again, same as before, heels to the hips, knees and your elbow up to the sky, pointing your finger to your shoulder. Make sure that our elbow try to get as close as possible when we're pressing ourselves up. Inhale, hips up, crown of the head on the ground. And continue by lengthen your arms, press into our full wheel. And now, if you could, try to lengthen your leg and try to press your chest towards the back of the mat a little bit more to open up your chest even more. Slowly come down, tucking your chins, Back of the head to the ground, upper body down, hips down, heels down. One last time now. Check in with yourself. Make sure that your heels to your hips, arms, finger pointing to your shoulder, pointing your knees and your elbow up to the sky. On your next inhale, lift your hips up to the sky, pressing your palms to the ground, crown of the heads on the ground first. And keep going by lengthen your arms and pressing your chest to the back of the mat. We stay here, keep breathing, and try to lengthen your leg as much as possible. And exhale, slowly come down, tucking your chins, upper body to the ground, hips down, heels down. Wonderful. And now we need to neutralize back our spine by placing your palms on top of your belly. We do a few breaths here. Remember to take your time. And now hugging your knees to your chest, rocking side to side to massage out our spine. Remember not to skip this posture. And now forehead to your knees as an counter pose to rounding your spine after this intense back bend posture. And exhale, release, sit back up. Thank you very much for joining me once again today. I hope that you find all these tips useful and hope to see you on our next video. Bye.